was midnight, and I was blindfolded. I was being led through the woods with my blindfold on by two friends on either side guiding me, holding my hands. And I had been 19 years old for 10 minutes. And I was convinced that this was the birthday that I was going to be murdered. So it was a great start. I attended a tiny Christian liberal arts school in nowhere, Pennsylvania. Got some college friends here tonight repping that, which is super fun. My birthday was in October, which is only about 2 months into the school year. So I was a college freshman at this point. I had only known these people who were with me for about 2 months at this point. One of them was my roommate, Mary. Now, I got randomly paired with my roommate, Mary. She is my best friend now. And we met and exchanged emails over the summer before freshman year started. And she asked me, what are you into? And I was like, Lord of the Rings, obviously. And I was like, so what about you? She was like, yeah, no, same, and Cheez-Its. And I was like, I feel like that's enough. Yeah, no further questions. That's good. Lord of the Rings and Cheez-Its, we will get along just fine. So Mary's idea of fun was to tell me, I've got something planned for your birthday. It's going to be great. It's a surprise, so I'm not going to tell you what it is. I was like, all right. So she and a couple of our friends show up at midnight in our dorm room, blindfold me, and they march me out of the dorm across the college campus. And I obviously can't see anything, but I can hear the sounds of town fading away. I was like, we're absolutely going to the edge of civilization, right? So we're walking, and all of a sudden the ground turns to gravel under my feet. And I was like, oh boy. So at this point, we are definitely in the woods. You can hear an owl hooting. It's like we are in the dead of night in the middle of the woods. And so we're walking, and then they're like, all right, we're here. You can take your blindfold off. And so I ripped the blindfold off, and I look, and I was like, oh my gosh. They had taken me to none other than the water tower. So this water tower, it was a small college town, so obviously one big water tower for the whole town. And it was legend at this college. So the upperclassmen all knew about it, but I felt really cool because I was a freshman at the water tower. I mean, this was the place where all the Christian kids went to side hug each other. It was a special place. Side note, my mom is here tonight. Amy Brothers is here. My mom is a wonderful mom. But she and my dad did not give me the talk. And so I actually don't know what a side hug is, or a special hug, for that matter. So if anyone would be willing to tell me after this, I will buy you a beer. I would just love to know. Thanks. Anyway, we're at the edge of this water tower. So picture this. It's about 100 feet tall. There's this big cylinder, and it's a clearing in the woods, right? It's surrounded by this 10-foot barbed wire fence. And we were looking at it like, okay, how are we going to get in? We go up to the gate on the fence, and it's, of course, chained and padlocked. There's no way we're going to do that. We were like, we've got to find a way. So me and my friends walk around the perimeter trying to find something, and we spot a little hole in the fence where an animal had crawled under or something, and we were like, that's the ticket. So we each take turns scurrying under this fence to get to the other side, one by one. And so we all go under and then go to the water tower. We find the rickety ladder on the side, and we just start climbing. We climb all the way to the top. And once we got to the top, I mean, the view was gorgeous. It was a beautiful night, starry night. You could see the lights of the town. I mean, it was just a vision. And so we had brought a picnic with us. We had a picnic blanket. We had snacks. We had music. I got my little iPhone out and put on Spotify my indie playlist because I was like, I feel like this is a vibe. And so we're just having the best time. This is my birthday party on top of the water tower. We're snacking, and it just sort of starts to feel like a coming of age movie. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I felt like this was like 16 Candles. This was like The Breakfast Club. Like a little bit of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I mean, it was like Perks of Being a Wallflower, like all these things. I was like, we're talking about like our angsty high school selves. We're talking about like casting a vision for the future. We're freshmen. We have so much life ahead of us. I mean, it's this whole moment where like the indie music is playing in the background and you literally feel like you are in that movie. So we're having a great time, you know, passing the Pringles around, just like sharing and getting to know each other a little bit more, when suddenly we hear car tires on the gravel. And so I cut the music really quick, and we get down really low on the water tower, and we like look over the side, and it's a cop. So we are like, don't say a word. So the cop comes up to the gate, realizes that it's chained and he can't get in, but he's like shining his flashlight, you know, like trying to see if there's any sign of life, and we're like, don't say anything. And then we hear like, I know you're up there. This is trespassing. You better come down. And we're like, don't say anything. So after 5 minutes, he's like muttering and realizes he can't get in, and so he drives away. But like that was enough. We were like shook. So we were like, we're gonna go. I think that's it. Party is canceled. So we start climbing down the ladder. I'm the first one going down the ladder, and I'm almost to the bottom. And I look over my shoulder, and the hairs stand up on the back of my neck because there is a man in the woods. And he is watching us from the edge of the clearing. So my body just seizes. I just like freeze right there on the ladder. And they were like, Ashaway, what's going on? What are you doing? I was like, there's a man, he's definitely watching us. And we need to move really quickly because I don't know why he's here. I don't know what's going on, but he's seen us and he looks real shady, so we need to move. So we clamber down the ladder as fast as we can, and then I look over and realize he's standing in front of the spot where we went under the fence. So there's no way out. We were like, we're gonna have to climb. We're gonna have to climb this thing. So we go all the way over to the gate, we like book it, and we realize we're just gonna have to like spot each other, you know, to get up over the gate. So we're climbing the fence, and each of us one by one is like, you know, throwing ourselves over and like hopping onto the other side. But as we're doing that, the man starts to make his way around the perimeter of the water tower, just walking slowly towards us. Super scary. And all these like 18, 19-year-olds are freaking out. I'm the last one, of course. I'm the last one, and I'm climbing the ladder, and I throw one leg over the fence, and then I try to get my other leg up, but my crotch is stuck in the barbed wire at the top of this fence, because of course it is. And I was like, guys, I can't move. He's like from me to the first row here. And I was like, I don't know what to do. So Mary, my roommate, grabs my hand and yanks me down. And I fall to the ground like 10 feet. We scramble up, and in that moment, he's like right there, and we're like right there, and our minds were like, fight or flight, fight or flight. It's flight, baby, we're going. We are running for our lives. So we run through the woods. We're like stumbling over tree roots and things. We're just like losing our minds, like huffing and puffing. We make it to the main road, and we're like, oh my gosh. And we look around, and our friends are nowhere to be found. And I have this like gaping hole in my high-waisted skinny jeans. Oh my gosh. Gen Z, if you're out there, this is a note for you. I know you want to bring back low-rise jeans. I hear you, I know. But if I had been wearing low-rise jeans that night, I would have stuck my stomach with barbed wire and gotten tetanus, okay? That's where we were at. The high-waisted jeans saved my life. That's what I want to say. I just want you to know this is out of love. Like, we plucked our eyebrows so that you don't have to. I mean, we did everything we could to make it easy for you, and I just want you to know, like, we love our high-waisted jeans, and we're just gonna stick with them because they really did it for me that night. So yeah, our friends are nowhere to be found. We have no idea where they are, and it feels like an eternity, but it's really only like 2 minutes later we see them like walking up to us, and we were like, "What happened? Did he get you? Who was he? Like, what was that?" And they're actually laughing. We were like, what do you mean? Why are you being so like cavalier about this? And they were like, well, so there was apparently supposed to be a transaction at the water tower tonight, and the gentleman in question, your friendly neighborhood drug dealer, thought that we were his people. Thought that we were the ones who were there for this transaction, and I was like, what? Because it's clear that he was probably standing there for a while, right? Probably like watching us, listening to our conversations, which is wild, because if he had been standing there and listening, this is what he would have heard. He would have heard me blaring Bon Iver. Let's start with that. Was blaring Bon Iver and all this indie stuff, very hardcore. And then he would have heard us debating who the hottest person in Middle Earth is. Like, is it Legolas? Is it Aragorn? Is it Boromir? I mean, is it Gollum? He's kind of shredded, I don't know. Like, I don't know. We were debating, like, which adaptation is better, the 1995 or the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. Like, really hard-hitting topics. And he is standing there thinking, oh, yeah, that's them. They want the hard stuff. I can tell. He's just standing there with like baggies of Coke in his pockets, like, all right, I'm waiting. They're gonna come down any second for this. Oh my gosh. I feel bad for the guy because he didn't really make anything that night. But me and my friends, we ended up making one of the best college memories that I can remember. It was so special and so fun, and if I could give a piece of advice, it would be to say yes to your friends when they have crazy ideas, because you have no idea where they're going to lead. Honestly, some of the best times of my life are when I just said yes, and then, as always, say no to drugs. That's it. Thank you.